I'm bored. So I am going to do a propaganda I'm not falling for video. The window is open and Zama took the key. So yeah, guys, I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. There's a couple of notes that I wrote down. Propaganda I'm not falling for. And if you like this, we can do it more. I'm recording on my iPad, so I'm not sure how it looks. Number one, propaganda I'm not falling for is if I'm strict, it doesn't mean I'm mean. Like I've gotten so many what's it? I don't believe I'm a mean person, and I've seen people that are being perceived as mean, and they're not mean, they just strict. Like there's such a huge difference between someone not tolerating nonsense and someone being mean. Like I'm one of the kindest people like on this planet. What do you mean? Like I am genuinely, I have a very soft heart, and I just don't like people taking advantage of my kindness. The first thing you see when you come across me is like when you the first thing you interact with when we are talking or whatever is kindness, except for men. Honestly, like I'm scared of men. No, not even I'm scared, like genuinely, don't kill me. But especially with females, I'm just a kind person, but with being kind I'm strict. Like even with my female friendships, I give them my female friendships so many chances before I end them, and then once I end them I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. Then give them space. Propaganda I'm not falling for. Sorry guys, the noise. Give them space. They'll, when they're ready, they'll come back. I hate that statement so much, because what do you mean I must give you space, and then when you're ready, when you're done sorting with, like, I get the concept of, okay, sure, I'll give you space, and when you're ready, you'll come back. But what about informing me? And this goes for friendships, relationships, family members. I don't care. There's such a thing called communication, and when we are selfish to the next person. If we're going through something, we don't inform them and say, hey, I'm going through something, I just need a little bit of space, and so on, especially if I'm reaching out multiple times. You can't tell me that after reaching out multiple times you're still going to deny me access to you. You don't even, like, that means we're not that close, and I don't want to be that close with you if you're constantly, maybe if it was the first time happening, okay, sure, it's happening, sure. But if it's continuous, I need whatever. If it's continuous, then you and I are not as close as I thought we were, honestly speaking. Because if we were, then you wouldn't be doing me like that. You would tell me that, hi friend, I'm going through something, and this and this and that. And I don't need to know through your status that you're going through something, or someone else. If the story hasn't arrived, I'm just that person. If you don't tell me something, then I simply don't know it. It's like, it's fine. And it's especially if it's something that is like a triggering topic, or some things are just personal and they land on my ear. I'm just not going to tell you, unless it's like things that have to do with your character being questioned or stuff like that, or it's gossip, and I'm going to come back and tell you as my friend or as a family member. But angengeni, oh mama, they're going through something, be patient. Like, I'm done being patient. Honestly, I'm done being the lover, the whatever. Who is that behind me? You see what I mean? I'm scared of men. I'm done being the friend or whatever that is genuinely, now I'm not comfortable because he's just here, but that is that friend or lover or family member that is constantly being told, be patient. Like, no, we're not gonna play that game. Then which one? Foreigners taking jobs in South Africa. Guys, we don't even have jobs, and foreigners are like, firstly, when people speak about foreigners taking jobs in this country, it's funny how it's always the black foreigners and not white foreigners. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how Cape Town doesn't belong to South Africa anymore, and it's just the thing where everyone from abroad is comfortable. I saw this video the other day, and someone saying, oh my gosh, $600 for rent in this beautiful complex in Cape Town, South Africa. If you're earning in dollars and you're working from home, this is a perfect location to move in. Locals don't mind it, but I'm just like, Cape Town in 5 years won't have and I'm not speaking when I say Cape Town, I'm not speaking about Oboma Kaelisha or Cape Flats or whatnot. Like the nice part of Cape Town that South Africans that work hard should have access to. And it's like these people, it's like our land, South Africa, our land, and but we don't have it, you know, like, yeah. And then when it comes to that, people ignore, they don't ignore it, but they get angry about foreigners coming to sweep the yard and do gardening and be what. I'm just thinking, like, come on guys, let's not excuse rotten xenophobia behavior with people wanting to take jobs. Like, there are no jobs for people to be taking. Like, I was reading 3.5 I don't know who was it, I was watching the news. 3.5 million families in South Africa sleep without a meal. Do you really think it's the foreigners that are taking those jobs? Like, we are focused on the wrong place. We should, the government, the money that is spent on Operation Tutul. And another thing, I've never used public clinic. I've never used public hospitals and public clinics and so on. Fortunately, I was fortunate enough that my mother had provided those things for us. But I did once going with, I think it was a cousin or somehow, going to fetch them or going to see them, I don't know, but I don't know if they were admitted, I forgot. But they had to pay 75 rand for a file, and I just thought that was something that is done. Turns out you're not supposed to pay anything in public hospitals, and I'm shocked. I was genuinely shocked that we're that comfortable that there was a line for people to pay their 75 rands, and I'm just like, damn. And you're still complaining about foreigners stealing your jobs. It's these people that are full of corruption. Then also, it's also I was also exposed to how white people bring in foreigners in South Africa, promise them like jobs that obviously you're not going to be paid. That's another thing. I'm not sure how that statement that I just said, I'm just going to say allegedly. But what I know is foreigners don't even make as much money as South Africans do. At the end of the day, you're never going to make. I was in the US being an au pair, and a nanny was paid so much more than what I was getting in the US, simply because I'm not an American citizen. You're never going to be treated like the same. You're never going to receive equal stuff, equal things. What's the word? You're never going to be treated equally as a person of that nation. So we have nothing to fear. Like, I'm not saying fear as in like, I'm aware that, okay, sure, sometimes, because they were exposed in this other in parliament, this minister who kept on employing foreigners just because they didn't want to pay that amount. And I am aware that corruption exists where they want to keep money and employ foreigners, and those are legal foreigners, by the way, not illegals. I am aware of that. I am aware that it's a concern, it's a red flag in this country. But the way things are happening, like, I don't believe most of these people don't dream about going to other countries, have never been in other countries. And when you think about things that you've experienced in other countries, and it's like, you would never want this to happen to you if you were in another country. Let's just have Ubuntu. Then and it's crazy because Ubuntu is not just a South African proverb, yeah, I think. Yes, it's from South Africa, but it's in the whole of Africa, and we don't even have Ubuntu for African people. And then, like, come on guys, no, like, then another it's not here, but another propaganda I'm not falling for is God the Mother Church. Like, leave me out of it. That late when I was in the US, they came to me giving me a pamphlet written Ubuntu and the wrong meaning. Like, what? And I was like, no, we're from South Africa and this is from our country and this is not the meaning. I forgot what it said. But bare minimum men, I am not falling for. Like, I hate when I have to beg for something, and especially from a man. Like, let's just be single, honestly speaking. In like, I mean this in the most harsh way that I can think of, and this is me, not me being mean, it's me being strict again. I can't be begging you to buy me flowers once in a while. Once I tell you that, okay, I like something like this, do it. And if I'm begging you constantly, then you should see me now. Anyways, but I'm just not falling for that. Who's this? Okay, I'm just not falling. Oh, guys, so don't judge me on how dirty this window looks. Then yeah, I can't be begging you for stuff, guys. Like, I just feel as if I already have enough problems, and for a man to be a problem, then I'm not for you. Like, I'm genuinely not for you. And let's see again. Also, I want to say propaganda I'm not falling for is men, but like ngiyajola nabo, so I guess the another one is money won't change me. Oh, shame. It will change me. This is me. Oh my gosh, guys, imali sazongitshintsha. Oh, you don't understand. I still want lavish life, guys. I want to travel. I also want to change like the community that I live in. I want to do things for my community. I want to inspire people. I want to be that. I want to break generational curses. And yonke lonto ngizoyenza nginale mali enginayo manje. Hell no. I am still gonna, hey, but guys, I'm still gonna spoil my friends so freaking much. However, I'm definitely not falling for it. Oh, money won't change me. I'm just this humble person. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not gonna be humble. And the word humble is subjective to how you think, what you interpret humble as. But then another one, it's not here, but propaganda I'm not falling for is that education is not it. Like, guys, as black people, we just gotta be educated. There's no escaping it. There's amanya, there's all content creation, there's wara things that are on the side. Oh my gosh, this car. There's things that are on the side that we can do as individuals, but get that degree. Like, I'm in my second year. I've done so many things that I'm supposed to be done. I'm supposed to be done. I first studied the wrong degree, got done 2 years of it, realized I'm miserable, stopped. I started my first year, took a gap year to go to the US, but I'm still continuing. Like, life, when I was in the US, I noticed, guys, I will always get the crumbs of rich people if I am not educated. Guys, even with content creation, if you've fallen in love with content creation, study something in content creation, be educated so you can be in rooms where things are discussed, and it's like yeah, I'm that girl. I'm like, unfortunately, South Africa is not where America is with content creation, where it's like it's the fewer percentage that are living like life through content creation. Other people are just living nice, which is good, but it's not there yet. And again, content creation is not something stable. I know a lot of things aren't stable right now because of AI, but in content creation, guys, we shouldn't. I'm not even. I don't want to stick onto content creation only because that's not the only thing that I'm like. I'm kind of like, there's so many things that are not secure, but no one can take away education from you guys. Like, literally, I don't know who said that statement, but they ate. I'm sure it was a man. Guys, I have a beef about my daughter, but they ate. Honestly speaking, no one can take away education from you. There's beauty in saying something, and everyone is just listening to, and you know you're speaking something right, and it's just like, clock it. But what else? Wigs. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, wigs. I'm definitely not falling for the propaganda of this is a controversial one. I'll say specifically, I want to stick to my race, black women falling in love with wigs so much that they hate their hair. And it's like, that's considered normal because you love wigs so much. Like, yonke leonto leo, it's close to white proximity. That's why you love wigs so much. I don't know. I don't want to say it's close to white proximity. It's like you hate your blackness so much that you want to erase it by wearing ama wigi so much. And I love wigs. I probably I'll love wigs for the rest of my life. Well, I don't know, that's debatable. But I do love wigs. I love a good install. Nje. Umuntu mefakile wigi, anyone who has a wig on, I'm just like, oh, that looks so good on you, you know. But my thing is, if you're embarrassed to be seen with your natural hair because of that wig, then that's a problem. That is a problem that you need to sit down and say, do I really love wigs, or do I really hate my natural hair? And if you do, I understand also the maintenance that comes with natural hair, unfortunately. But at the same time, I feel as if society has trained black women to want to do so much to their hair that it's hard to maintain. I'm not saying it's not hard, but like, you don't have to be extra gaga with the natural hair. Like, white people can wake, I'm not saying wake up and go out, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't do it, but I would never do that. And I'm just with my natural hair and puma. There are some people who do it, and it's like, yeah, own it. Email is alcohol. That's that. But to the people that actually don't, to the people that actually like, or like, oh, what am I saying? No. I'm saying that you can love your hair to the extent where there's a balance. And there are people that don't like wigs at all because they understand a toxic relationship. And it's like, I don't like some people who have that perception of wigs where they had a bad experience, and now they're like, you shouldn't wear wigs. You didn't, like, no, wigs are normal. Every race wears wigs, but it's not every race that wants to hide their blackness. So if you love wigs so much to the extent that it's like, no, I don't want to be I don't want to be out with my natural hair, I don't know. Let's sit down and let's reflect. Then the last, it's not the last one, the second to last one is the trend of Christianity. I don't believe Christianity is a trend, guys. I believe, yes, God is out there trying to seek individuals, and no matter which way that he is getting those individuals, yes, people are leaving the church and coming back, then leaving, then coming back. It's like, it's a mess. My relationship with God was tricky in the beginning of the year because I was in a car accident, and I was just like, why did I survive? But at the same time, I got to a point where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I survived. I'm like abled person. I'm an abled person. I can speak. There's nothing, like, sure, my back gives me problems after that, but there's so much that could have happened that day and it didn't. And I'm not saying this to say, oh, God saved me, so you should change your perception with Christianity and stuff. All I'm saying is that give God a chance. And I don't believe that people, when they say, oh, it's their Christianity is their last hope, that's why they were a baddie and now they just Christian. No, God can be your solution. Like, it's not like they were dying today and were like, oh, no, I need God. No, they were like, let me try this God out, and they found peace in God. And it's like, yeah, that is normal. I just don't understand why people attack people for finding God. And I get why Christianity is the one religion that is bashed the most, because I also believe it's the one religion that gives hate the most. But I'm just not falling for the trend that when people say, oh, Christianity is becoming a new trend. Like, guys, oh, Auntie Betu, where they would pray and pray and pray and pray for us, and we are here through their prayers. Like, my granny would be so happy. Like, there's a granny of mine, Sisimbiza Okokope. I don't even know how she's my granny, honestly speaking. I don't know if she's my granny's sister or my granny's cousin, but she's my granny and I love her. She was my granny and I loved her. She died last year, but she was like, the way she loved me, guys. And she'll always say something that has, even my granny, like my actual granny, she'll always pray for us every night, whether we are upset, whether we don't want to pray. She'll say, everyone gather. And there's so much love in Christianity. I understand that there is hate, I'm not denying that, but with the true Christianity, I can't fault it anyhow. Well, I can, but it's like, I can, but I choose not to. It's that kind of thing, because at the end of the day, I'm aware of the fact that the Bible was manipulated so many times. Like, it didn't just, this wasn't the original Bible. There's so many things that we are that were taken out of the Bible, that were included in the Bible. That's why I don't like people who ngathini, like even with the whole homosexuality thing. I found out that it was, well, I'm not 100% sure. I keep saying I'm gonna go fact check this, but it was only included in 1942 in the Bible, and because of men that were hating on homosexual couples. And excuse me, and it was like, that makes sense. That makes it. Apparently, I don't know what God was talking about in that particular moment.
RSV replaced that with the much more modern and culturally loaded word homosexual, a word
I forgot. I think I'm just gonna put the TikTok here, and then that's that. But it was never about homosexuality, and it's like, there's so much hate. Even if it wasn't in the Bible, guys, even if it wasn't anything like homosexuality was a sin, how many sins do you commit in a day? Number one. Number two, who are we to say you're going to hell? Jesus himself said he's not coming for the righteous, he's coming for Tina's Labisonayo. So I don't know. Also, what trend I'm not, yeah, like irreligion, guys, is so tricky that I don't like engaging in a topic manjalo. Sometimes I do defend Christianity, sometimes I'm just like, oh, it's not worth, I'm not doing this today. But let's not bash it so much. And I understand sometimes people confuse Christianity and say, I was hurt in the church. Like, that's the church, that's not Christianity. Someone explained it in a way that you can't, there's certain things when you say what's it, I'm trying to think of another word that has nitty in it. Like, I don't want to use homosexuality because I was speaking about it. Okay, fine, I'll use homosexuality. Oh no, I don't want to use it. But homosexuality is not homosexuality. Christianity is love in, like, you are Christianity is like, you are behaving like Christ, you are doing stuff like Christ. It's the main word is Christ in Christianity. So let's not figure out my church, don't the church hurt me, so I'm never going back to church, or this happened, and I'm never entertaining Christianity again. For as long as it's not Christ himself that did you wrong, and I'm careful with these words, because sometimes we think he did us wrong, but ezinye izinto or just how things are supposed to be. Like, I was angry at God that my dad died when I was 13 for a long time, and forever. No, but I'm not saying oh, I'm glad that he died when he died. No, I'm not saying that, but it was his time. Let's not. And sometimes izinto ezenzakalayo, guys, emhlabeni, where it's just like we have no control over it, and it's unfair for us to say we blaming God, you know. Then I think Zama's here. Is it her? No. Then the last one is life, guys. I'm not falling for the propaganda of life. I'm just so exhausted, guys. Angifuna ukungasho ngikhathele impilo, like, it's just one thing after the other. Sengifuna uba rich mina, guys. Like, isikhathi sesisi yo those are just a few propagandas I'm not falling for. I really hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how the noise is doing. I don't know if I like this video enough to post it, but yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe.